Hey, quickly before we get started, Dossier fragrances, they have their 6th anniversary sale, so you can get up to 60% off, 60% off when you check out their website, and we'll circle back to them in a second. For now, hi everybody, and it's so nice to see you again. Before we get started, let me just give credit where credit is due. So with many thanks to Andrew for the inspiration of today's video. I was scrolling through your comments, guys, and I do apologize if I'm not replying to a lot of these comments on here, but this one actually gave me the idea for today's video. So let's just quickly read Andrew's comment. Andrew is saying, marvelous to have you back, Kat. It's lovely to be back. Thank you. I totally agree with you. There is a template or pattern. Around October, November, a new carrot is dangled in front of the media. Could be a former traveler who Christian be confided in, or a new abandoned building or factory which CB used as a hideout, or the good old memory stick with absolutely nothing on. Then from March on, details of new funding again. This year was kind of interesting as it all happened by very quickly, with the Sun making a documentary in order to force the public to believe the abduction. CRAP. Personally, I think the McCanns used their son to get the public behind them. So their son, Sean Mccann. He was in the papers because he is pushing for an Olympic place in swimming. Very crafty people. I wish Maddie's brother all the very best, but why the hell is this in the papers? What puzzles me is why the Crown Prosecution Service has refused Julia bail for 4 or 5 months. Either she's a McCann plant to divert us, or she's going to pass away in prison. And I think I know what you mean by pass away in prison. The more intricate the McCanns and Operation Grange become with their nonsense, the more chance they are going to let the cat out of the bag. Okay, so out of this comment, I actually went ahead because I was kind of wondering myself, so how about the twins? Because from all we know so far, it seems that the McCanns, they were, as in Kate and Jerry, they were always pushing that they want their twins to have the privacy. They don't want the twins to be in the public eye. We know that at the latest, I believe it was a memorial for Madeleine Mccann, there was just a glimpse of the twins and Emily as well, but very, very short. And that's when the McCanns, the parents, they were saying that they don't want the kids to be in the public. Right. Now, moving on to Sean Mccann, because yes, Andrew, you are right. And with your comment, I actually went ahead and had a look at some articles because something is kind of strange, right? Because the McCanns, they kept on saying that they don't want the twins to be in the public eye and they just want the twins to live their lives, and they're asking everybody to respect the privacy, although the twins, they are over 18 years old, right? But it seems that all of a sudden, Sean Mccann is in the media, all over the place, really. So I really don't know, does it still have to do with the funding? Or is it because they want to get Sean's name out there because he's looking for an Olympic place in swimming? Is it both? Is it neither? I have no idea, but I found it quite interesting, especially considering the fact that it was kind of like a very regular thing when the McCanns came out constantly saying that they want the twins to have their privacy. And we know that until the twins reached 18 years old, we didn't really hear much about them or read about them in the press. But, okay, so before we get started, this video, guys, is sponsored by Dossier, and I want to let you know that I am their ambassador for the next few months, and thank you so much to Dossier for this opportunity. And thank you guys so much for your support as well and for bearing with me whilst I introduce you to Dossier. You will be seeing some of Dossier's fragrances, which I actually picked out myself. In today's video, I'm going to focus on 3 of their unisex fragrances. Now, if you don't know, Dossier has fragrances inspired by designer brands, but at much more affordable prices. So let me introduce you to Ambery Vetiver perfume, and this one is an inspiration by Bardot's Bal d'Afrique. Bardot's Bal d'Afrique, so posh. So this one is inspired by Bardot's Bal d'Afrique. And I chose another one which I found quite interesting when I read the name for it, Powdery Coconut. It smells gorgeous, stunning, and this is another unisex fragrance from Dossier, and this one is inspired by Tom Ford's Soleil Blanc. And the last one, which I'm going to be showing you today, is the Woody Sandalwood, and this is another unisex fragrance. This one is inspired by Le Labo's Santal 33. Dossier, they craft their perfumes in Grasse, France, and they also have their own fragrances, but they also have the inspirations of designer brands. On the website, you can find fragrances up to 60% off, plus you get free returns and you get free shipping if you buy 3 or more of their fragrances. They have this amazing feature where you can layer up the fragrances. You can create a new customized scent by layering 2 fragrances together by using Dossier's matchmaker tool on their website. Also you guys, if you use my code CATSMAKEUP10, CATSMAKEUP 10, you get further 10% off. So please make sure that you use my discount code CATSMAKEUP10 for extra 10% off. Also, don't forget, I'm going to repeat again, they have their 6th anniversary sale. You get up to 60% off. You get free shipping on 3 or more of their fragrances, plus free returns. Also, layer up, guys. You can layer up with their matchmaker tool on their website. Let's not forget, 6 million bottles sold, more than 40,000 5-star reviews. So make sure you check them out. Thank you so much to Dossier for sponsoring today's video, and thank you so much, you guys, for being patient with me. Also, I would like to thank very much to Ellie Andrews for your €2. It's really appreciated. Thank you so much again. Whew, finally, okay. Now let's move on to the subject of today's video, Sean Mccann, Madeleine Mccann's brother, one of the twins. When I first saw his photo, seriously, the first impression was that, oh my god, he looks so much like Madeleine Mccann when she was little. I mean, that's what I got from his photo. What do you guys think? And I found a few articles which I'm going to read and comment on because, like I said, I found them quite interesting. So the first article is from hellomagazine.com, and this one was updated on July 31st, 2025, so just like a month ago. Madeleine Mccann, what happened to missing girls' twin siblings? It's been over 18 years since Madeleine Mccann, the eldest daughter of Kate and Jerry Mccann, went missing from their holiday apartment in Praia da Luz, Portugal, while the couple were dining nearby with friends. It wasn't just Madeleine who was thrown into the spotlight, as there was plenty of attention on her twin siblings, Sean and Amelie, as the international search for Madeleine captured the public's attention for years. The family have been at the center of several documentaries about the missing girl. Sean and Amelie are now aged 19, but the family have made it clear that they wish to remain private. After Amelie was photographed at a vigil for Madeleine in May 2023, the couple issued a rare statement requesting that the press leave the twins alone. So that's why I find it very strange, and also you who commented on this and on Sean, that very recently the McCanns were saying that they want their privacy when it comes to the twins, and now all of a sudden we see Sean McCann in the public eye. which is like maybe typical of the McCanns to kind of use what they want to use when it suits them. Now, I don't really want to say a lot of things about Sean McCann because in comparison to them, he's just a kid, so he's got nothing to do with anything. But in a sense, it kind of feels like they are trying to gain something from this. Not Sean in particular, but rather Kate and Jerry McCann. Now, the question would be, this is my opinion, guys, my opinion, okay? Now, the question would be, what would the gain be? What are they looking to gain this time? Is it the same as we've seen, or is something else? So, moving on to the article, it read, I am writing this message to the media in general. I expect it may not appear in print or online, but hope that it will spark a conscience in some. As we do every year, we gathered in our village yesterday evening to mark the anniversary of our daughter Madeleine's abduction. It was a special event and lovely to sense the hope and warmth of those who were there. I was dismayed, however, that this sadly provided an opportunity for a local journalist to exploit the presence of our younger daughter, who does not wish to be photographed or interviewed and was made to feel uncomfortable, especially at such a special moment of hope for Madeleine. Our son and daughter turned 18 this year, but I truly hope this will not make them targets for those journalists looking to make financial gain. Please, can I appeal to you that you respect our children's privacy and let them live their lives? End quote. And now, because I've seen this photo with Emily and Kate McCann when Emily was just a baby, need I remind Kate and Jerry McCann that they were actually the ones who put the twins, first of all, in the public eye after Madeleine went missing? Because they were the ones who actually called on the press even when they were advised not to speak publicly, or rather not to give any kind of statements to the press after Madeleine went missing. Yet they were the ones who created all of that media explosion over the years. And now they are the same ones who are complaining and who are saying that the media is trying to get their financial gain from photographing Emily. And in all honesty, and even if I might sound mean, right, this should be expected that all of the family would be at Madeleine's vigil and there would be photographers and there would be media and press present, because it's been like that every single time since Madeleine went missing, so nothing changed. So for Kate McCann to now say this publicly, it's a bit hypocritical. That could be the word I was looking for. Both Sean and Emily have lived private lives. However, Sean might soon be stepping more into the public eye in the coming years. Sean, who is 20, is a champion freestyle swimmer, having swum competitively since the age of 8. He is to represent Scotland at the 2026 Commonwealth Games, and it's been reported that he could be selected for the 2028 Olympic Games. Could this be the reason? I don't know, you guys. I'm just asking a question. Speaking about his love of swimming, Sean once wrote, at the age of 10, I was selected to swim at the city of Leicester, and I have since gone on to win multiple county titles, as well as becoming regional and national champion in my age group. In order to have achieved this, I have had to remain extremely dedicated, getting up at 4 a.m. multiple mornings each week to train. Good for you, Sean. Good for you. So here he carries on with the story of Madeleine McCann. But what I am really furious about is that we are, 18 years later now, and they are still using campaign materials with Madeleine's photo aged when she went missing. So let's just play the devil's advocate, if you will. If indeed say for example that Madeleine went missing, somehow she's alive, although I don't think so, but you know, that's just my opinion. Is anybody going to recognize Madeleine McCann at her age now by the missing posters and promotion materials which are using her age when she went missing? Nobody would recognize her. So I don't see the point of this really. But anyway, we finish with this article. You know, each time when I'm talking about Kate and Jerry McCann, it's just, you know, my blood starts boiling. Now, as for the next article, this one is from the Mirror, updated on 10th of June 2025. Madeleine McCann's brother Sean tipped for Team Great Britain stardom at Olympic. It starts off with the introduction of Sean and Amelie and Madeleine McCann when she went missing. And he also says here that 20-year-old Sean has become a highly accomplished swimmer, tipped to join Team GB in Los Angeles in 2028. Recently, Sean was captured on camera with a gold medal around his neck after competing in a Mediterranean open water swimming competition. There goes the privacy in the media. Sorry, I had to say it. Sean has racked up a series of other impressive achievements, with both he and his sister currently doing well in their studies at university. Speaking to the Daily Mail, Brian Kennedy, the pair's great uncle, said that Kate and Jerry have been very pleased with the twins' achievements. Sean is studying chemical engineering and he has been swimming competitively for nearly a decade, revealing in 2023 that he has braved 4 a.m. starts to swim before school since he was 11 years old. He added that he also visits the gym for intense training 3 times a week. He next plans to represent Scotland at the 2026 Commonwealth Games. And here are more photos. And for those of you who are going to say that probably these were private photos and somehow they were leaked to the media and so on and so forth, really, do you actually believe yourself? Because I don't. So Sean recently wrote on a local website that he has been a high-flying swimmer for some time, having won multiple county titles after being selected to swim at City of Leicester. He wrote, "At the age of 10, I was selected to swim at City of Leicester, and I have since gone on to win multiple county titles as well as becoming regional and national champion in my age group. In order to achieve this, I have had to remain extremely dedicated, getting up at 4 a.m. multiple mornings each week to train." Sean represented Team Scotland at the Commonwealth Youth Games in 2023, making it to the 400 and 1500 meter freestyle finals. He is also known to be a keen open water swimmer and is part of the country's national open water development squad. Meanwhile, his twin sister Emily has her own sporting achievements, having competed in a series of cross-country and triathlon events while studying at a university in the north of England. And this is the second article which I finished reading. The press has a lot of information, so I kind of doubt that Kate and Jerry McCann actually mean for Sean and Emily to stay out of the media and only have their private lives. Because we know, guys, that these people, they've been controlling these media platforms since the beginning when Madeleine McCann went missing. My opinion. Okay, now I found another article from The Standard. And this one is, where is the date on this? 4th of June 2025. Madeleine McCann, where the family are now, from Kate's moving memoir to the brother tipped for the Olympics. So, according to this article from 4th of June 2025, the latest update in Madeleine McCann's investigation from the German police is that officers launched a fresh search near to the former home of prime suspect Christian Brugner. The first search in more than 2 years, which we've already covered in our previous video on this, where they found nothing, basically. And I'm going to skip the introduction. So they also say that this search throws a fresh spotlight on the McCann family, parents Kate and Jerry, and twins Emily and Sean, who marked the 18th anniversary of her disappearance just last month. The same month, it was reported that Sean, a champion freestyle swimmer, is being tipped to compete in the next Olympics. Very coincidental. Coincidental. So now him and his sister Emily, they are understood to be studying at separate universities in the north of England, having lived the majority of their lives in the shadow of their sister's tragic disappearance. Both are talented, I don't know why it's put like that, but anyway, according to their great uncle, while parents Jerry and Kate said recently that they were grateful to be able to live a relatively normal and enjoyable life now, despite the continued heartbreak over their daughter's absence and facing speculation and suspicion themselves over the years. Kate and Jerry McCann, both physicians and devout Catholics, still live in the same house they lived in when Maddie disappeared, a red brick detached house in Rotley, Leicestershire, and Jerry still works as a physician specializing in cardiology. From Kate's frontline work during the pandemic to the twins' sporting careers, here is what we know. Oh gosh, we are going back to Kate's memoir. According to this article, it makes me laugh because Kate McCann's 2011 memoir, Madeleine, probably gave the greatest insight into some of the realities of her life since her eldest daughter vanished. That she still buys Maddie birthday and Christmas presents, that it was difficult not to be overprotective towards twins Emily and Sean after Maddie's disappearance. So much so that even after they found out that Maddie disappeared, they still left the twins on their own. And so many other things after, yeah, okay. That Kate worried about the impact the disappearance would have on her marriage, particularly intimacy with her husband. When it's a book about Madeleine, I don't think that this kind of things should even be in there, but anyway, I already covered some of the worst things mentioned by Kate in her book, so I don't want to go into those details because it's just disgusting. And now, a quote from Kate. The first was my inability to permit myself any pleasure, whether it be reading a book or making love to my husband, she writes. Oh my god, I just said that I'm not going to go into detail, and this article says it. The second stemmed from the revulsion stirred up by my fear that Madeleine had suffered the worst fate we could imagine, falling into the hands of a PDF. She describes how these harrowing thoughts tortured her to such an extent that even the idea of sex became repulsive to her. I worried about Jerry and me. I worried that if I didn't get our sex life on track, our whole relationship would break down. So you've got your daughter who went missing, and you are thinking about these things? No. The book also describes how her strong Catholic faith was tested by Maddie's disappearance and how she quit her job as a GP because she didn't want her twins to be left alone with child carers. I know why I'm laughing, and I think you guys also know why I'm laughing. And because she also wanted to focus her attention on the search. She did, however, return to the NHS during the COVID pandemic in 2021, working on the front line in local Leicester hospitals and saying she was pleased to be doing her little bit to help as the city battled with soaring hospital admissions. Today, Kate, who is now 57 years old, works with sufferers of dementia and is an ambassador for the charity Missing People. We miss our complete family of 5, she said recently in her ambassador role for the charity. Jerry, who is 57 years old, is a physician by trade, just like Kate, and currently works as a research professor in experimental medicine and a professor of cardiac imaging. According to his bio on the University of Leicester website, he is a heart specialist with a subspecialist interest in MRI scanning who conducts experimental research in people to better understand heart disease. When I hear this word experimental research, ding, 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 this light bulb moment. His CV includes various high profile positions, including working as the cardiovascular team lead for NIHR Leicester Biomedical Research Centre, the immediate past chair of the British Society of Cardiovascular MRI Research Group, and lead of the PHOSP COVID Cardiovascular Working Group and East Midlands Cardiovascular Clinical Research Network. He and Kate, who met as junior doctors in Glasgow in 1993 and married 5 years later, have both spoken of trying to live a normal and busy life to cope with the disappearance of their daughter and their efforts to help their children do the same. I'm certainly more protective than I was, but you can't mollycoddle them, he has said of raising the twins. They have to be independent. What happened to us is incredibly rare. It's nice that everyone is here together, but it's a sad occasion. Those were the words of Amelie Mccann, Madeleine's younger sister, who was just 2 years old when she went missing. Said when she spoke publicly about her sister's disappearance for the first time 2 years ago. The then 18-year-old was speaking at a vigil to mark the 16th anniversary of her sibling going missing, with around 70 people gathered near the village of Rotley, Leicestershire in May 2023. She was seen lighting a candle for her sister and other missing children and joined others in reading mantras, including Never, Never Give Up, Leave No Stone Unturned, and Still Missing, Still Missed. The now 20-year-old is currently studying at university in the north of England, Durham, according to her LinkedIn page, where she is reportedly popular, outgoing, and sporty, having competed in cross-country and triathlon events growing up. According to her great-uncle, Brian Kennedy, her parents couldn't be prouder. Kate and Jerry are pleased with their achievements and the fact that they are making their own way in life, he said recently. Indeed, Emily and her twin brother Sean have lived the vast majority of their lives in the shadow of their older sister's tragic disappearance. They were just 2 years old when Madeleine went missing in 2007. Reports say Kate checked the children at 10 p.m. to find Maddie had disappeared, but the twins were still sleeping soundly in their cots. So she checked at 10 p.m. So then they discovered that Madeleine went missing. So then she went back to the restaurant after Madeleine was allegedly abducted, and she left the twins alone after their daughter was abducted from the same room to go to the restaurant and inform the rest of the group that Madeleine went missing. It's just who on earth is idiot enough to believe this? Seriously, I'm sorry. Emily reportedly once told her mother, "Mom is sad because Madeleine is not here. But Emily is here, and Emily and Sean will always be here." More recently, Kate said of the 20-year-old and her brother Sean, "They have their own friends and they keep busy and they are really sporty, but their only wish is for their big sister to come home." And carrying on, Emily's twin brother Sean, also 20 years old, has long been understood to be a champion freestyle swimmer. He began competing at the age of 8, but it was last month when it was revealed that he was being tipped to represent Scotland at next year's Commonwealth Games and could even be selected to compete for Team GB at the 2028 Olympics in LA. We've already said that from the previous article. And then I'm gonna carry on and skip to the end, the last paragraph here, which says he currently trains at the University of Loughborough, where he's studying chemical engineering. He's close with his family, reportedly once telling his mother, "When you are old, me and Emily will look for Madeleine." And we finish with this article. And since we mentioned the vigil and we also mentioned the mantras of leaving no stone unturned and so on and so forth, plus seeing some of you guys' comments about the Madeleine Fund and the money, I was thinking, let me just have a look at Company's House, because if you guys were not aware, Madeleine's Fund is actually registered as a company. Yes, a private company. So I went on to Company's House to check their finances, and I have found out that their secretary's details changed, but I'll leave that for now. Firstly, let's get onto this application where their money is declared, right? I'm just gonna skip down to the bottom right here, although I'm not exactly sure how to read this, so I'm not exactly sure how much money there is available, but income and expenditure account at 1st of April 2023, surplus for the year deficit transfer £107,000 and 847p. Unrestricted funds, we've got 261 in April, and then up to March 2024. So at March 2024 we have 367,000. Then restricted funds, we've got 640,000, and the total £1 million in their account. Okay, so the company is a private company limited by guarantee and consequently does not have share capital. Each of the members is liable to contribute an amount not exceeding £1 towards the assets of the company in the event of liquidation. The company was formed on the 15th of May 2007. Then, related party transactions. I wanted to get here as well. During the year, £2,000, 325, was received from sale of the book Madeleine, Our Daughter's Disappearance, and the continuing search for her, written by Kate McCann, a director of the company, of course, which was published in 2011 in the UK and certain overseas countries. This is treated as restricted funds. In all honesty, I have no idea what restricted funds mean. Could it mean that they can't be used? I have no idea. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. But at least I am happy to see that they are not selling that awful book any longer as much as they did before, because we can see here that they only made £2,000 from that. And this is how much they have in their private company, so £1 million. And I'm going back to the secretary change because I found something quite interesting. So the secretary details changed to BWB Secretarial Limited. So they changed it and this is their secretary. Yeah. Going to BWB Secretarial Limited, I found that it seems, this is very interesting, it seems that Secretarial Limited is a dormant company incorporated on 19th of October 2001 with a registered office located in London, City of London. Okay, it's a dormant company. So it's been dormant since incorporation. So if it's a dormant company, how can it be the secretary for Madeleine Mccann Fund Company? It's dormant. Is dormant not the same as not active? I really don't know. So this BWB secretarial has 3 officers and 1 controller, PSC. The controller is Bates, Wells and Braithwaite, London, LLP. Okay. I don't know if it's got anything to do with anything, but I checked their website, this Bates Wells, and it seems that is a law firm. The first UK law firm to be a B Corp, which means we consider the impact of our decisions on our people, clients, suppliers, community, and the environment. What's B Corp? Let's have a look. I'm curious now. B Corps are for-profit organizations redefining success in business by embedding a commitment to positive social and environmental impact at the heart of their governance. Companies limited by shares, companies limited by guarantee, LLPs, community interest companies, and a range of other structures are all eligible for certification. Okay, so they basically deal with everything here. Well, anyway, I don't think it's related to anything, if I'm honest with you, but the one thing that I still have a question is the BWB Secretarial Limited, which is Madeleine's Fund secretary. The company is dormant. What does it mean? And he has just been appointed on the 27th of June 2025, so at the end of like 2 months ago, right? Yeah. Another interesting thing, going back to their company's house information. So apparently there was someone, or rather people appointed to the company, one of them being BWB number 2 Limited, which was appointed on 15th of May 2007, then resigned on 16th of May 2007, so one day later, apparently director. Now B2B is very similar to this, to B2B Secretarial Limited. Is it not? Yeah, B2B. Was it the same? Not sure if it was the same, but if I Google it, it's giving me a BWB Consulting, which is something different. It's like a leading UK integrated consultancy that delivers well-considered engineering, environmental, and infrastructure solutions. So basically, you guys, this is all I wanted to show you for today. And again, thank you so much, Andrew, for being my inspiration for today's video. Thank you for your comment, and also with many thanks to Dossier for sponsoring today's video and for making me their brand ambassador. You guys don't forget Dossier. Use my discount code GetMakeup10 to get 10% off. Plus, remember, it's their 6th anniversary sale, so you can get up to 60% off on their website. Plus, they have free returns and free shipping if you order 3 or more of their fragrances. They have their own fragrances plus designer inspired fragrances at a much more affordable price. So check out their website. Bye everyone. Thank you so much for staying with me. Bye bye.